Hello everyone. I'm very happy to be with you today. I am Magdala Ramirez and I come from the Maya Mexica tradition. Today I really want to talk to you about the shadow, your shadow, that place that people deny it, and that energy that it is in the system, and it has been directed to the feminine for a very, 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 very long time. Many generations. You see, the system wanted to have the women aspect completely in control. And it is through that feminine side of your brain that resides this incredible power of enlightenment. We did talk before about the two hearts, and you can find more information in the archives of this radio talk. And these two hearts, it has to do one heart that contains all the experiences in this time and space for you. There is pain and suffering, there is good experience, bad experience, and as we say it before, you're not your experiences, but what you have learned from it. So you don't need to repeat the lessons. You need to remember that you are in a realm of love. Everything that you do, everything that you have, it has to do with love. How do you react with it? What do you do with it? The system told you that you needed to go and beg for love. That you needed to see that you are an unworthy being. And they tell you this kind of stuff when you were growing up. I'm talking, of course, in general. They told you that all these situations about love, you were not worthy enough and you always needed to hide things. So you thought that if you be you, nobody will love you. That was what the system told you about. When it awake in that level, it was a lot of that shadow. You begin with competition, with guilt and shame and jealousy and why her and not me. And I'm directing this mostly for women. You see, the men don't know any of these dramas and what's going on. Yet it is in that hidden place of yours that you were not being able to speak about it. Always feeling a victim. Always recognizing your pain and even your traumas about it, and thinking that there is no such a thing of liberation. Because that's what the programming was about. And in that way, they manipulate you, they control you with all these emotions that they told you not to speak about. The system is designed to make the shadow constantly, completely, and for you to feel guilt and shame about it constantly. And it was a big lie, because in that way everything, all human beings were under control of a system that didn't want human beings to actually get it and make the realization of the self in one single lifetime. You must remember that the men represents the manifestation. Your masculine energy in that side of the brain, that's what it is, that manifestation. What is that in that manifestation? What is going on in that manifestation? For the masculine way, they need to see the things in the outside in order to click in the inside. That is deduction mind. Do you realize this? And in the schools, they will only teach you deduction mind. They never taught you induction mind. In order to make a balance of that male and female, you do need to understand that induction mind. That place from that inside that goes to the outside. So you have two energies within yourself as male and female. And the feminine ways was completely denied for a very long time. The ancestors call it the feminine ways, And nowadays they call it the quantum physics, the things that they are hidden. And you must realize, how does this meant for you? And how does it works for you? So you have the two hearts. One that it is holding all the situations in your life. And then there is the other heart. And that other heart, it is linked. It's behind that heart. And that heart has the wisdom of the multiverse. The remembrance about what happened in this very beautiful planet. And in the cosmos. You have the Great Mother talking. You have the love that you are. The eternity part of yours. Recognizing you as eternal being that you have always been. You have all this incredible wisdom that we have been bringing forward for a very, very, very long time. Actually, started in 1986 when we were able to actually speak about the feminine ways. So it wasn't too long ago. Yet there is so many things of the programming of that feminine that it needs to be addressed. And in this time and space that we are passing through this wave in the calendar Azteca, all these things are being presented to you. Yet the only one that can actually work on it, it is you. Don't be afraid of your own shadow. Don't be afraid to speak about it. Because one of the things that it happens in this is the secrecy about it. Thinking, oh, if I said this, nobody's going to love me. Or I'm going to present myself the way that I am. And everything works in the hidden. And the women are experts of this because of what was the programming about it. The manipulation, the hidden agendas, the distortion of the sisterhood, the separation, the wars and destruction, all this, it comes because of this energy. And this is the time when you are able to address it. You see, for a very, very long time, women in many societies, I'm not talking about everywhere in the world, but in a very, very patriarchal societies, that's how it was. Women were not able to gather together and speak about it and talk about sex and talk about moontime and talk about how they truly feel and be honest to one another. Sisterhood wasn't in there. They only talk in the system about a brotherhood, but never about what is that powerful sisterhood. In the ancient times, yes, we do have that sisterhood. I mean, you have the red tent, you have many other consults that it has to do with the women. And depends on you as women, the whole community. I mean, we have moon dance ceremony, which is very, very powerful. Because in there you heal all the separations and bring that sisterhood together in a good way. No more dark feminine stuff. And being able to talk about the shadow openly in order to transmute it. Because from that work depends the whole system, the whole community. And men does not know any of these situations. They do feel, there is these stories about the rock men. And that comes from very ancient codices in many traditions. Because the men stop trusting the feminine for a very, very long time. And when they stop trusting the feminine, they stop trusting their own heart. And then they brainwashing them that they have power of the feminine. So there was a lot of pain inflicted that created a lot of karma and a lot of situations in a community, in your city, in situations like that. The father was important, but not the mother. God is male, not a goddess, not the feminine side of God, completely denied. You have all these aspects that it was so much put it in there to create this big shadow that you don't want to talk about it because they told you not to talk about it. So the pain was there and it still is there. And that is impeding to talk and to really tap into that divine feminine that you are. You can feel that divine feminine anytime. You listen to the one that created you. She's guiding you. And she's helping you to remove all these wrong beliefs that are there. She's not judging you, and I'm saying this with big, big, big letters. There is no judgment. When you die, nobody's going to judge you. But the only thing that you're going to take is love and experiences and what you have learned about it. Otherwise, yes, you're going to repeat the same lesson over and over again. But nobody's really judging you. So, when you are able to understand these forces and where this is coming from, it's very, very, very important. You must realize that dark feminine, it is only in the third dimensional reality. She has no power. She cannot go into a higher dimensions. So, thoughts that you have, that they are very about only that third dimensional reality, translate the message into a higher dimension, what it means to you. And observe your thoughts like a hawk. You know that the thoughts can be truly overwhelming when your mind is going, oh my gosh, so quickly going downhill. Stop it. Change the subject. Think, move, dance, make exercise, go for a walk. Whatever, you go barefoot and do something that it will snap out all these thoughts that are there and that you're being bombarded by it. Observe what is going on in the system. You can't realize, okay, that's what it is behind every single word. What is behind what's attitudes and situations in your life. What is it that the people is trying to say? And a lot has to do with this programming of that dark feminine and people being just so afraid to actually connect with that shadow. Don't be afraid of it. It's okay to talk about it. It's okay to say it so you are able to transmute it. When you say it and able to transmute it, you're bringing this thing into the light. You have the power. You're reclaiming your power in that moment. And realize what is going on with all these people around. Create a sisterhood, a strong sisterhood in your community that you are able to talk about all this stuff without any judgment. Be real. Being real in every relation is going to bring that real part of you forward. You must remember that human beings are multidimensional beings. But the part of you that it is actually multidimensional, being consciously, that's what I mean. It is that divine being that you have always been. There is so much about the sisterhood and about these situations that it is there, about women, that men have no idea that this exists. We always make jokes about, okay, let's talk about the psycho part of you, because that dark feminine can be very psycho about it. And let's transmute it. Let's talk about this. with no hidden agendas and no judgment whatsoever. This is the part that keeps on perpetuating the third dimensional reality, participating in this women against women. That's how it has been for the patriarchal system for a long, long time. And this is the time that you need to stand up for your sisters, for yourself, and understand that in this new world, it's about balance. Means male and female together. Means make the inside the same of the outside, and the outside the same of the inside. You have both energies, male and female. And it doesn't matter your sexual preferences. Oh my gosh, people keep on asking me this. You still have two hemispheres in your brain. The way that you relate with you, it is imperative to understand. You know, it is in this divine consciousness of yours where you realize that time doesn't exist. That was a creation from that patriarchal system. That was a creation. And if you think about time, you will remember landmarks of emotions. Do you realize that? That you can actually jump and heal it. And understand those places within you. Because when you jump in there and realize it and heal it, then you are able to do something about your emotions today. And what is it in your choices? What is going on in your choices? The sisterhood is just way too important. Nobody's better than you. Nobody's lesser than you either. Yet, having that integrity and that honor and respect to each other, it really creates a big, big difference. Because this is a time of remembrance. I think there is a file in my website, magdalas.com, that talks about the code of honor of the feminine. And if you go there and realize this, it will help you to understand how powerful it is. It has always been a code of honor of the masculine in the system. You know, the warrior societies, and it has been everywhere, the code of honor of the masculine. And they never said anything that these come from the code of honor of the feminine. It was completely unknown until now that we actually can do something and give those credits to the women. Credits of amazing women that they have come and create a very different story for humanity. Those women were completely vanished from the stories. You must realize that that has to do with women against women too, not just men. That at one point, not too long ago, they thought that the women has no brains. Can you believe it? There is so much to change. There is so much to encounter within your own self. I want you to visit our website, magdalas.com. That is MAGDALAS.com. Go through letters from Magdala. There is so much. There is the school online. There is priestess ceremony coming on May. I think we need to update that. There is so much of those ceremonies that it will help you to comprehend this incredible energy that you have. And for the men too, they must realize what's in their heart and understand that enlightenment comes from that feminine side of their brain. Okay. Thank you for your work. Keep on sending your emails. Keep on sending all these amazing thoughts and wisdom that you have within yourself. It is the time of the realization of the self. It is your time. Take it personally and thank you for your work. That has been truly amazing. I want you to click subscribe in the button in there in YouTube, and I want you to share this knowledge because people need to know what is going on. We have also messages from the Great Mother, the app, and it is very, very beautiful, and we are creating a new app that I will tell you more later. Thank you so much. Tlatzocomate, tlatzocomate, tlatzocomate. I am you. I am Magdala.